welcome to the F word. You know which F word we're talking about, right?
Yeah, we're talking about fraud.
I knew that was the F word. And in today's session, we're talking about the importance of professional forensic accounting and business interruption. And I've heard that you've got a pretty cool case study to chat to us about.
Yeah, we had a hotel that had a restaurant in the east end of Toronto, and unfortunately, the restaurant was damaged in an accident and had to be closed for almost a year. So when the restaurant finally came up and running, the owners of the insurance company put forward a claim of 240,000, but they didn't put any backing documentation with the claim. And the insurance company basically looked at it and thought, oh, this is a little bit high.
Sure. I mean, that seems like a real missed opportunity. Can you tell us a bit more about the initial investigation?
So the initial investigation by the insurance company, as I said, they felt it was a little bit high. So they got hold of a set of forensics accountants and they said, hey, we want you to come up with a number for us. And they gave the forensics accountants some really, really tight parameters which to work in. They said that the hotel wasn't affected at all, and they said that they were only to have a look at POS sales, and they weren't to have a look at any sales that had been made on credit. And so at the end of the day, they came up with a claim that was worth only $20,000 in comparison with the $240,000.
That's pretty shocking. I mean, that's a far cry from the original amount, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a missed opportunity here because the original owners hadn't submitted the claim correctly. They didn't have all of the backing documentation. So when they realized that this was the case and they were so far apart, they employed us to have a look at their claim. And we went through and we reconstructed their financial records and we reviewed their historical data and we looked at all of their streams of business and we calculated the loss to be 220,000. The 220,000 included not only the POS sales, but also sales that had been made on credit to certain bus companies and a loss of trade in the hotel industry. And what might interest you to know is there's been a number of studies that show that when a restaurant is out of business in a hotel, it actually affects the number of people who go and stay at the hotel.
That makes sense, right? I mean, it seems like you built a pretty strong case, and
but the insurance company had another forensics report by this stage, so they're quite keen on just sitting with their 20,000, and you know what? Let's push it towards trial and see who folds first.
So actual litigation now.
Yeah, and this is all because the claim wasn't submitted correctly in the first place. So the lessons that can be learned from this is, the first lesson is do the claim correctly right up front. Accurate claim preparation is absolutely vital to avoid any disputes. Had our report been submitted right up front with all of the backing documentation that we had, we might have had a couple of discussions. It might have been talked down a little bit, but nowhere near to where it was talked down to. You've got to be comprehensive in analyzing the matter at hand. You have to have a look at all aspects and then back up why you're looking at those aspects with data. So in our case, how does a restaurant closing affect a hotel? One of the things which is really great about this is that the insurance company actually covers the cost of our investigation, or they'll cover part of our cost. This is really neat because your insurance company will pay a professional to do the investigation and to submit the claim for you. Now, depending on your policy and how you've got it set up, that could be our entire fee or it could be a portion of our fees.
I bet you they don't tell you this though, Dave. Have you
They actually do.
Secret? Do they?
Yeah,
okay.
They do, because it's in their interest not to have disputes. The insurance company gets a bad enough rap anyway. And if they can get a professional claim that they can go through and they can say, okay, this is what we're going to pay out, everybody is then happy. And that's the fourth major lesson to be learned, is that these disputes are avoidable. If you put in a claim correctly the first time, not overstepping the boundaries, but doing it correctly, you'll get the claim sorted very quickly, and that will be it. Currently complex, and people don't do this type of claim every day of their lives. So you need somebody who knows all of the intricacies about putting forward a claim, so that you don't overlook key revenue sources, you don't have the necessary documentation that your claim stands up to the scrutiny of the loss adjuster, and the business owners, you can stop business owners from facing unnecessary delays and underpayment. One of the things you can also do is help companies up at the front end to mitigate their loss. So in other words, how can we make the time period of the loss shorter? And what can we do in order that we don't suffer a bigger loss? Maybe it's opening up half the restaurant. Maybe it's doing something different, putting a tent outside and serving in a tent, whatever it happens to be. But there are ways of mitigating the loss and taking the loss down. So if you do that, then you'll definitely get paid a lot quicker.
I see. So you're saying that if you show that you're putting some of the skin in the game, you're trying your best to mitigate things, they will come to the party and help you out.
Absolutely.
Final thoughts? Any more advice? Last words?
Yeah, look, I mean, insurance companies really do value a claim that is put together properly. And if you do that right up front, it stops a lot of the problems from taking place. They look for how you've mitigated the claim. Insurance companies will pay you out on an ongoing basis, so you don't have to get paid the entire lot at the end of the day. You can be paid out every month by an insurance company for the amount you've lost that month. So yes, it's a lot more calculations that go in, but everybody then is on board for how much this claim is costing, and let's get it sorted as quickly as possible. And so really at the end of the day, if you engage a forensics expert, immediately you have a loss. You'll face a lot less problems. And honestly, when the insurance company is paying part or all of the bill, it's a no-brainer.
Completely. And I think, Dave, you've got a couple of articles on your website I've seen on the importance of business interruption and claims. So I think I'll put the link in this podcast below in the description. So if anyone wants to go and have a little read, if they need anything, they can always give you a call. Thank you so much for your thoughts. And thanks so much for letting us know about this. I mean, I had no idea. And hopefully more businesses will understand what to do going forward.